when I was 24, I didn't know if I should go into the convent or if I should marry my boyfriend of 5 years. And I prayed about it and I wrote about it, and then I met Paul. And I knew that he was truly a gift from God, who I got both of that. I got a life of holiness that I wanted to be as a nun, and I got a life of love that I wanted.
Deep within your heart, if you listen, you hear God's voice. He sings to you his eternal love song, the song through which he created the stars and the moon, the flowers, the birds, and all creatures. God's song is the music that attracted you to your spouse, the rhythm that moves you to dance together, the melody that leads you to grow in love with each other, and the voice that calls you to serve God as a married couple. God invites you to sing with him his love song as you journey together to his kingdom. The Beatitudes proclaimed by Jesus show you the way.
I'm Jim, and together with my wife Jennifer, we'll host this program on the Beatitudes. In this series of videos, we'll explore marriage as our path to holiness.
God guides us on this path. He leads us with his voice. He sings to us his love song.
If God sang to you a love song, which one would he choose?
If God were to speak to us using a love song, it'd have to be Bryan Adams' Everything I Do.
In the chorus, everything I do for you.
I Love You Just the Way You Are, Billy Joel.
The Love of My Life.
I'll Be There for You by Bon Jovi.
I'll Stand By You.
Don't cry out loud, just keep it inside. Learn how to hide your feelings.
Wait, are you singing that to me? Or is God singing that to you?
God's singing that to me.
Follow Me by John Denver. To have you here beside me, to never be alone, and all the time that you're with me, then we will be at home. Follow Me.
It's called Lean on Me, from the movie.
I thought of that one too.
Have I told you lately that I love you?
The closer I get to you.
And I thought about the song Celebrate.
For me, it would be I Hope You Dance, because life is so serious and sometimes you forget to slow down and take an opportunity to really enjoy life and dance a bit.
God created man and woman to be a gift for each other. He formed them in his own image so that they can see in one another a reflection of his love and find joy in each other's company.
God called man and woman to sing with him his eternal love song. Unfortunately, Adam and Eve chose to sing their own song. Their disobedience broke the relationship with God and disrupted the harmony that existed between husband and wife.
In his immense love for us, the Father sent his Son to restore our relationship with himself.
In Christian marriage, we embrace Christ as our partner and our guide. Through his grace, he transforms our weaknesses into strengths.
How do you experience God's grace in your marriage?
God's grace is in our marriage through the seasons of our life. When I look back at where we've been, from newlyweds to young children to empty nesters.
It kind of comes at times you least expect it.
At times when we're having an argument and it's rough and we go to church, so many times there will be a reading that will just speak right to it, and we will look at each other and we'll smirk because we're being stubborn about the argument, but God has clearly spoken and given grace in that moment.
I feel it mostly with Sherry when I'm unable, when I'm in denial. She reminds me that things are going to be okay and that God's going to take care of us.
I would have to say through the peace and the strength that I received during tough times.
We just had our first child, Mia, so that's just the greatest evidence of his grace in our lives and in our marriage.
From the moment that we found out that we were pregnant, that was like the ultimate blessing of all. So we are so thankful to God for that.
Throughout our marriage of 25 years, we've had our challenges on many different levels, and I think the strength that God gives us every day to pull through those challenges is amazing.
Jesus started his ministry by teaching us the attitudes that allow us to hear God's voice. We know these as the Beatitudes.
In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus proclaimed, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, the meek and the merciful, those who mourn, those who seek what is right, the pure in heart, the peacemaker, and the persecuted."
In the first Beatitude, Jesus tells us, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven."
What does being poor in spirit mean? Jim Forrest writes that we are poor in spirit when we are aware that we need God more than anything else.
What situations in your life remind you that you need God?
We always need God's help.
Now that I am unemployed, I need a little bit of God to help me through.
It's been a very rough holiday season, and one in which I've had to just give up control and know that God will see me through it.
Anytime where we face some type of struggle or let our emotions get to us, we quickly realize how much we need God in our marriage.
I need God every day, every minute of the day, especially dealing with stress.
Even just a couple of years that we've been married, we've had financial issues, health issues, house issues. And sometimes they all happen at once in one day or 1 week, and there's just no way I know that I can handle it. And that's when it's like the only place that I can turn to, with Katie, is to the Lord.
Initially, it was my addiction to drugs and alcohol, and I was able to find God's grace.
Every night we pray for our baby's growth.
Patty's been battling cancer for the last 12 years now. We see a situation where we need God's grace in that battle.
Acknowledging our dependence on God and on one another is poverty in spirit.
As a flower in the field turns toward the sun to receive life, we must turn toward God and toward each other to fill our needs.
Married life is full of wonderful moments, but there are also times when we feel overwhelmed and need help. Illnesses, financial setbacks, job losses, and deaths in the family all remind us how much we need each other and we need God.
In both the good times and the hard times, God is our constant companion, and prayer is our dialogue with Him, the source of our strength.
What do you pray for in your marriage today?
I pray pretty much on a daily basis for patience and understanding.
Accepting of each other's quirkiness or things that bother me about him sometimes.
Hey, we don't pray about that together.
No, I didn't say we prayed about it together.
Pray that Steve understands me, and
Pray for effective communication, that I'm able to express what I need and that Jared's able to tell me the same.
Pray that I deserve the love that she gives me.
Patience for Sandy to get along with me.
To give me patience in my moodiness.
I pray for patience.
We constantly pray for unity because we have friends all around us that are breaking up.
To be unselfish, to kind of make sure I put Barb first.
To know what God's will is for us.
And I pray for closeness because the closer you are to God, the easier it is to hear His voice.
God invites you to sing with Him. When you follow His voice and you sing His love song, you grow in holiness and you find joy.
Now, together with your spouse, take a few moments to reflect on your poverty in spirit. Ask yourself, when do I listen to God's voice? Do I hear Him? Are we singing His song or our own song?